Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And today I had a viewer request from my friends over at Terror Films. And the movie that they wanted me to review for today is the 2025 film Raw File, directed and co-written by Aaron Dobson. So this movie, as you may or may not have already guessed, is another found footage film. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of those, this one actually was not too bad. So let me start off by telling you what the concept is for this film. This movie takes place entirely at an apartment complex. Two of our main characters are Monica and Aaron. Now, Monica is an investigator and Aaron is her cameraman. So, Monica has been called in because one of the tenants of this apartment complex has either taken their own life or died due to other causes, and it's up to her to figure out what exactly happened. Now, once Monica and Aaron get to the apartments, they meet the concierge there named Chris. And Chris is going to show them around and allow them to talk to some of the individuals who might have been connected to the person who died. So Chris shows them around the apartment complex and where the death occurred. He then has them meet up with a couple of the people that did interact with this other person. Now, each of the people that Monica interviews ends up being a little odd and very suspicious. Also, as they're going throughout the rest of the evening, some of the clues that they're finding are not only strange, but potentially connected to the occult. It's about halfway through the film when everything goes absolutely crazy and completely off the rails. So now, Monica, Aaron, and Chris are not only trying to solve the mystery, but are also trying to keep themselves alive. So at the start of this film, I was very worried that this was going to be very boring or just completely uninteresting. However, though, this actually was a really good movie, in my opinion, and with the lower budget that they had for this, they did a really good job. Now, some of the things that I was not a big fan of is there are definitely a lot of shaky camera moments. So if you're one of those people who cannot watch films like that, this is not going to be the one for you. Secondly, it's very zoomed in at times, so that becomes a little frustrating. I will also say that there's one sequence near the beginning where there's a foreign language used and there's no subtitles, so you really have absolutely no idea what's being said at that point. But I don't know, it eventually becomes not even a thing of needing to know anything about that. But part of me would have liked to have at least seen what was being said during that time. Through a good majority of the film, the camera quality and the lighting is actually pretty good. Once we get closer to the end, there are a few scenes that are very dark and a little hard to see, but honestly not bad. The special effects in the film are kind of 50-50. At moments, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty impressive. And at other times, it's like, you can definitely see how fake that is. I did enjoy the acting, as a lot of the characters felt very believable as the characters they were portraying. And especially once you get near the end of the film, some of the character transformations are very good, in my opinion. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of found footage film, but every once in a while there are some really good options. And this, in my opinion, is actually one of them. So, for me on my scale, I'm giving Raw File a 3 out of 5. And if you'd like to check this one out for yourself, it is going to be available for streaming as of June 13th, so just a few more days. And then you can find it immediately at that point on Chilling, Scare Network TV, Kings of Horror, Watch Movies, and many other options. And then hopefully from that point, you'll find it on more mainstream options as well. So, first things first, another big thank you going to Terror Films for allowing me early access to another one of your movies. Secondly, if anyone else out there is part of or works for a movie that does have access to an early access screener, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be able to watch it, review it, and give your film a little bit of extra publicity as well.